So when it comes to assets, it's not what assets you are getting, but it's why you are getting it. But in the long term, we always say that try and get the land nonetheless. Why? Because the land is the only asset that doesn't depreciate in value. It always what? Appreciates.
Legacy or nothing. Imparting knowledge, impacting destinies.
When you look at capacity, you notice that capacity has two branches, the tangible and the intangible branch. Tangible branch is when you are buying a land, you are acquiring capacity. Depending on what you are doing with the land, a land in East Legon will be better for you. And depending on what you are doing with the land in Otomopiso will be better for you. It's not about buying the land, it's what you are buying the land for. And oftentimes people don't realize that the value of the building is not the cost of the building, it's the value of the land. Property appreciates in the midst of scarcity. Your property will never increase in value until the property becomes scarce or the land becomes scarce. And I said that you don't buy buildings, you buy land. Because in law, we call something quick plantain, solo credit. Whoever owns the land owns everything on it to the high heavens. So you can have a building, but if I buy the land, I own that building. If you don't agree, take the building away. Building has an elasticity of 50 years in finance. Land is forever. Even though, yes, they'll say it's 99 years, but then again, you can renew it. Sometimes, depending on what you are doing, it's not just about acquiring the tangible assets. And tangible assets is building capacity on what you have tangibly. So tangible assets is what you have tangibly. So it is good to have assets and this and that and that. But depending on why you are getting the assets, a car will be better than a land. So depending on whether what you are buying will generate income is whether you call it an asset or not. And I said there are two reasons why you acquire assets. One is so that you can make money from the asset. Two, so that the asset will appreciate in value. If you want your value to grow, you get assets that appreciate in value. You don't sell them, just leave them. And as they grow, your value grows. But you can also acquire an asset so that you can make money from the asset. If you have 10 plots in Malam versus 1 plot in East Legon, if you are dealing with the issue of value, you can go for the 10 plots in Malam. It doesn't mean that the East Legon one is not of value, but if you're looking at long-term value, you leave the 10 plot in Malam. Why? Because 10 plot is big enough, you can do a school on it. If the East Legon one is just 1 plot, you are limited in what you can do. Do you understand? You can have an estate complex on it. You can do many things that over time can give you more money from that place. You get it? However, if you want commercial value now, something you can build an office on it, rent now and get your money now, the 1 plot in East Legon is better. So when it comes to assets, it's not what assets you are getting, but it's why you are getting it. But in the long term, we always say that try and get the land nonetheless. Why? Because the land is the only asset that doesn't depreciate in value. It always what? Appreciates. A person who wants money now and all he has is 30,000 and he wants money now that he can feed on, he better buys a car with it and that's Uber with it. After he gathers some amount of money, he can use the car to take a loan and then use the loan to buy the land and let the car pay for the loan. And in a matter of time, you'll be able to keep the car and keep the land. But if the person has only 30,000, that's all he has, he better not buy a land. Why? Because when you buy the land, you are stuck. Since the day of Adam and Eve, many inventions have come and gone, but the size of the land has never increased, not even by an inch. But as for the car, if you don't get this year model, next year model, you can buy it. But the land, if you don't get it, someone buys, you have to wait for 99 years before you can see if you can convince the chief to throw him off. So one of the ways in gathering capacity is you gather assets. When you go to the bank for money, the first thing they ask you is what is the asset portfolio? If you say car, they'll say go and come. If you say a house, they say now you're talking. So sometimes you may get an opportunity, but you may not enjoy the opportunity because you have not built capacity. You have to be able to acquire properties. It doesn't have to be a land in the center of town. Even if you go to the outskirts, buy it. But when you buy it, you register it, because like I told you, if you buy and somebody registers, it's for him, it's not for you. Because land is not the one who bought it, land is the one who registered. So that's with the tangible assets.